I got a question. Do you DIY? I definitely do. My name is Miss Ani and welcome to I DIY, a show where we do DIY fashion and decor items together. And we establish a safe place to share ideas, projects, and inspiration. On today's episode, we will be making that dress form mannequin holiday tree. Yeah, you know the one. Come on, let's get into it. So let me first just explain to you guys. I've been wanting to make one of these Christmas holiday dress form mannequin trees for some years now, and it's one of those pricier projects. And this young lady's video inspired me. Check her video out, please. I will link it in the description. Go ahead and start my project this year. So I want to make it clear that this DIY mannequin is not just for Christmas, but for Kwanzaa or for New Year's Eve or for other holidays. I'm going to show you guys some other versions as we get into this particular DIY decor series. These are my supplies. It includes garland. I needed wreath rings. I got ribbon, wide ribbon. I have lights. I have a dress form, obviously. I will also list all the supplies in the description below. You know how we do. I pretty much got every last thing from Amazon. It was actually hard to get the wreath rings. I didn't realize that wreath rings was so hard to come by. This is the floral wire, so you will need floral wire. Is it called floral? I'm gonna make sure I'm calling it the right stem wire, floral stem wire, whatever it is. I'm gonna make sure I put it exactly what it is inside the description. All right, so here we go. I start off with my dress form, and I want to make it clear that I put my wreath rings on there first. So yeah, I put my wreath rings on there first because I wasn't going to be able to, once the body of the dress form is on, I wasn't going to be able to bring the wreath rings over top of the shoulders. So I brought it under and let it stay on the floor until I was ready to kind of stack them and layer them in the way that I wanted to. So I would suggest you do the very same thing, but it's definitely up to you. All right, so the very first thing that the young lady said in her tutorial, which is true, I took the floral wire and created basically a waistband foundation. So what I did was took two separate floral wires, stem wires, and put them on the waistline, and then connected them together by twisting them. I hooked them together basically. All right, so I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. This is why I'm going to spend the most time for this tutorial on this particular part, because this is actually the frame. So I folded the stem wire over, and then I hooked it on each individual wreath ring. So then what I do is I bring the next bigger one up, and then I take the stem wire and I twist it on to the bigger wreath ring. So this was a process that you continue to do. You just fold the wire over, put the wreath ring of the next largest size, and then what you do is you twist it on. Now, here's a couple of tips. It's better if you take it and you twist it where you guys see where the joints are. Twist it where the joints are. Now, in the original video, the young lady, she suggested front, side, and I did a lot. I had a pack. I don't know if it was a super pack of the wires, but I had a large pack of the wires. So not only that, I really wanted a nice foundation. So I put as many stem wires as there were joints. I hung the stem wire on each individual by folding it in half, and then I just simply twisted it on to the next level. Here's a closer look. The stem wire is folded down. All you do, you take it onto the next level's wreath ring, and then you simply twist and twist and twist. Now, I tried to bend the wire kind of back so that the sharp part was not being exposed, because what you don't want is to be moving the tree, or someone else is near the tree and something happens and they stick themselves and they injure themselves. So you want to kind of take the wires and tuck them inwards. So that's what I would suggest. And it should look something like this. Mind you, I started it off incorrect, so I just want to make that clear, but this is how you establish the base, okay? I ended up starting over because the base was a little too low, and so I ended up with two 30-inch rings, a 24-inch, and a 20. I ended up with 4 wreath rings total. I think in the original tutorial, I think she had 3 rings, and also she used a wreath around the waist. I didn't have a wreath, so I simply took the garland and I wrapped it around. So I started there, but I had to wrap it around upwards and continuing downwards. All right, so that's what I'm doing here. I want to make it clear. One of the hardest parts of this project was, for one, it was expensive. This was an expensive project. I'm going to price it at almost $200. For one, the wreath rings are hard to get. I don't know why it's hard to kind of get wreath rings. If you know where to get wire wreath rings, you can't say that 10 times fast. Wire wreath rings from, please leave it in the comments, because I need to know. I ended up having to buy them in bulk. So I don't really count the total cost because I plan on selling them, but they were expensive. It was expensive to have to do that. So the wire rings was expensive. A dress form, it starts at about $50. Later on in the video, I'm going to tell you more about the supplies that I got, some of the ornaments that I chose, and what some of my favorites were. This form is like small. You may want to go with smaller measurements. I know that on the girl's original video, her wreath rings were not this size. So customize your wreath rings based on your dress form. If you message me, I'm sure I could try to help you do that. Okay, so here I am just twisting. I had to twist my life away. I would suggest that you spend the most time on the frame of the dress form, because obviously you want a sturdy foundation so that you can hang all your garland and your ornaments. Another one of my challenges was the garland. The garland, you need the garland to fill in all of that empty space. And originally I purchased some garland on Amazon, right? And I think it was like 100 feet. See, this is like the beginnings of what I ended up purchasing from Amazon. But as you can see, it's a lot of space still left at the top and at the bottom. So I had to do a whole nother purchase. I started off, this is me creating the top. I created the top with 2 ribbons. The ribbons were about 2-inch wide ribbons that are gold glitter metallic. So, but yeah, so I had to do a new order for the garland. And all in all, I feel like I used about 200 feet. Whatever it was measured at, it was either feet and yard. I think it was in feet. So it was like 200 feet. And then that ended up being like 80, I'm gonna say 70, $80. Something like that, y'all. It was crazy. So finally, I ordered some more garland. I ended up getting it in the mail. And I was able to complete the project. I just used some sewing pins, and then I took the ribbon and basically just draped it strip by strip. I didn't have no idea what I was doing, so I would suggest you do the same thing. When it comes to your top, I mean, you can use a top that's already sewn. Like you can use a halter top or take a scarf and wrap it around. Some people use like a necklace and then just like a tube, they wrap the ribbon around. You can do whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy. So basically I just drape the ribbon on, and then the back is kind of, you don't want to see the back. Let's just put it that way, okay? Let's just put it that way. I don't know if y'all noticed, but you know, I got my ugly Christmas sweater and my Santa outfit on in the crib, and I'm just chilling, listening to some R&B and rap Christmas tunes, and just trimming my mannequin tree, my dress form tree. This is for, you know, the people out there who want something different in terms of their decor, right? So I wrap the lights around just like you would wrap it around any tree. And let there be light. I love this because it gives kind of like a throwback, you know, vibe. The next time I make it, I want to do like a contrasting belt. So after I had the lights on, I didn't really know if I wanted to put the ornaments on. So I did a poll on Instagram, and you know, my Instagram people, they was like, yeah, put the ornaments on, so I was like, you know what, I'll put the ornaments on. I mean, look at the ornaments that I got. Like, they're so pretty. They were so freaking pretty. Like, look at them. So look at that. So it has such high shine to it. And there were some beautiful ones. Like, I'll take you through like some of my favorite ones were, they were like, let me see what I got. What else? All right. So like these are my favorite, like little houses. Aren't they cute? So here's some of the beautiful hearts. I love the contrasting colors. They were beautiful bows that had a high shine. I think the only color I didn't use was the white ones. And then I just want to show you guys that it didn't come with any hooks. I bought this bulk ornament box. It didn't come with any hooks. I just created hooks with paper clips. And I'm just showing you, you know, I didn't know what I was going to do. I just had paper clips around the crib and I ain't had no hook. So I don't like just the threading, the ribbon, the rope or whatever's on there. I like to put a hook because to me it's easier. And the way that the garland was, you see how the garland is kind of like, it's horizontal. It's laying around the dress. So I needed to kind of hook the ornaments on top of it as opposed to having like the string on there and you're tying it on to something that's sticking out. But anyway, so here is basically the finished product. I did put some more ornaments on there. I love the little icicle thingies that are hanging at the bottom. Look at that. I just love the high shine that this gives. This was a beautiful, fun DIY project. It was on the expensive side. It was kind of pricey, but it was worth it. It was, you know, it defied my expectations. I really enjoyed making it. This is for people who want something different in their home that is just like, you know, a little piece of extravagance, a little piece of opulence. And around the holiday time, we're talking, if you're celebrating Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, this dress is perfect for the holiday season period. And you can add a little glam to the corner of your home. It doesn't have to be, you know, Christmas. It can be other things, and I'm going to explore that with you guys in this DIY decor series. So I would love if you go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would make your own version. Shout out to the original tutorial, and I will, like I said, leave her information. Sis was like, I loved her project. It was super cute, and this would have been one of my favorite DIY projects for some years now. So I mean, guys, check it out, do it yourself, DIY, come up with your own theme, tag me on social media. My socials will be below. Enjoy a little bit more project stunting. All right, this is Miss Ani. This is IDIY, and I'm gonna leave you with this question: do you DIY? Because I do.